Hi, and welcome to yet another edition of Ask Miss Judes. As usual, I hope you're taking good care of yourself and enjoying life as God gives it. Again, I want to thank you for those lovely comments and your email messages and all the wonderful ideas that you're suggesting. I would like to ask for your help. Please share the videos widely, encourage your friends to subscribe, and also keep those suggestions coming in about what we should be talking about. Okay, so today I wanted to share very quickly on the power of the tongue. The power of the tongue. So, if you've been following world political developments in the last few weeks, so much has been said. And if you're not careful, it's easy to subscribe or give in to fear because of all that's happening around us. So I wanted to bring us back to a place where we want to be intentional about what we say, what we hear, and what we agree with. So I'm going to reference the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 21, and it says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." Huge statements, right? But I reflected on my own life and I could see several opportunities where I have seen where what I said came to be. And I learned this from my mother. Growing up, if anyone said anything that was negative, catastrophic, or devastating, mommy would immediately counter it. So, for example, somebody would say, "Oh, you have all these children. Wait until they become teenagers. Teenagers give a lot of trouble." My mother would say, "My children will not give trouble because they are mine. God gave them to me." Almost instantly, mommy had a way of rebutting negative comments. And by the grace of God, all 13 of us, her biological children, have turned out well. So I learned to also use my mouth to say that which I want to be. And if you recall a video that I made a while ago, I probably put the link in the comment section, that talked about the importance of even naming your children, because by calling them that, you're speaking to them that which you want them to be. So, okay, let's come back to the power of the tongue. As usual, I like to work from my own experiences. So when oh gosh, this is weird. I'm going to do an entire series on our Canadian journey, but I'm going to give some examples today just for brevity. So when we landed in Canada over a decade ago now, there were lots of people who would say, "Oh, it's so difficult to settle down in Canada. Some people take 5 to 10 years before they can get back into their professions. Some people never get back into their profession." And almost immediately, my husband and we didn't even discuss it, but we would both just say our case would be different. We will settle down, we will reap the benefit of this land. So it's like every time someone said something negative, we would counter it. Funny, because that became our experience. God made room for us. God bless my husband. He sacrificed so much. Stayed with the children. I committed for a while. So that would be probably another 3 or 4 videos, because those experiences will probably make a movie. Anyway, one that I wanted to work on when we eventually landed and I resigned from my job from a university in Jamaica at the time, I was like, I got tired of staying home. I was still working for another university in the Caribbean online. I was teaching online. I was engaged, but I wanted physical experience with Canada, the new country that we had adopted at the time. So, yes, people, yes, I did work in a supermarket chain, a big supermarket chain, as a cashier. And my children were worried. "Oh, mommy, you have a doctorate." I'm like, no, I just wanted to get experience of Canada. And people, this is really important, because at this point I don't think I was intentional, but my son reminded me that the day I accepted that job in that supermarket chain, I said, I wasn't going to do this for more than a year unless I chose to. I didn't even remember that I said that. 8 months into that job, I got a job at a college in the area of my doctoral specialization. And I realized then that all this talk of my case will be different translated to be true. And that was when I also realized that quite a lot of these people we see doing minimum wage jobs because they're immigrants are highly educated people from their own countries. But if you come into a system and you allow everything that everyone says, all the negative things, oh, life is so hard, no. God has empowered us to live our best lives with what he has given to us. So we will have to speak that into being. So that verse that says, life and death are in the power of the tongue is really true. So that was my experience. I said I wouldn't do it for more than a year, and by the grace of God, I didn't, because it translated to what I wanted. Also, the experience of getting into my career. Even simple things like when people say, oh, the winter is so bad, I'm like, okay, it's not always winter. It's only going to be winter for a few months. Enjoy it while it lasts. So that whole disposition of speaking that which we want, even talking to our children, what you say to your children, what you say to other people, how you encourage people, comes back to you. So there is indeed the power of life and death in the tongue. Why am I saying this? I want to challenge you today that irrespective of all the negative that's going on, in fact, many videos ago, I think I gave an example of my challenges with my health at the time. And I got to a point where I said, you know what? It's okay. I am alive. And by the grace of God, it didn't get the better of me. So I want to encourage you to be intentional about what you say, what you subscribe to, what you allow to settle in your spirit. It's not to say that negative things will not happen or that bad things will not happen. But if you accept it, then you are magnifying the pain and the difficulty. If the word of God says the power of life and death, or life and death are in the power of the tongue, be careful how you use your tongue. I want to encourage you today. Comment in the section, share your experiences. It's always of value to us. And if you want to send an email, please do so to askmissjudz@gmail.com. So that's askmzjudz@gmail.com. And keep using your tongue for good until I see you again real soon. Take care. Bye.